Another loaded show coming your way on today's Philadelphia Eagles Now, and here's what we have coming up. After the injury to Nakobe Dean, the Eagles have signed a linebacker who's a familiar face and name to this organization. The Eagles outside of that, making multiple roster moves, what Vic Fangio said about Jeremiah Trotter Jr., and the prospects of him getting more snaps with that Nakobe Dean injury, and could the Dallas Cowboys replace Mike McCarthy with Deion Sanders? Today's Eagles Now, sponsored by our friends at Rhone. Their commuter collection is awesome. I'm wearing their commuter polo right now. You can get 20% off. Rhone.com/chatsports. Use the code chatsports for that deal to apply. Couple of things that I want to hit as well. Our Eagles-Rams preview up on the channel. Last night, I did a breaking news video as I record this on Tuesday that the Eagles would take on the Rams. Just some initial takeaways after the Rams throttled the Minnesota Vikings. Be sure to check that video out. The best preview that you'll find for this game on YouTube, and an updated look at our road toward 100,000 subscribers. 582 real ones away from getting that silver plaque from YouTube. So if you want Eagles coverage every single day, lock us in and subscribe right now. The Eagles signing a linebacker. Let's start there. Nicholas Morrow, former Eagle from last year, has been signed to the practice squad after that Dean injury. Mike Garafolo, NFL Network, with this news here on this Tuesday afternoon that the Eagles are bringing back a familiar face to their practice squad. Nicholas Morrow, with the Bills for most of this year, started 12 games for Philadelphia last year and was the defensive signal caller. He returns as a depth piece after the loss of Nakobe Dean. The fact that he started 12 games for this Eagles team and he was the defensive play caller goes to show you how far the Eagles have come year over year from last year to this year under Vic Fangio. I will say, though, that Morrow's Pro Football Focus grades last year with Philadelphia, not bad at all, and he actually did play some solid ball, but you saw how limited of a player he is in some moments, including a game like the one against the San Francisco 49ers, where Deebo Samuel was his daddy. Overall Pro Football Focus grade of 71.5 in 2023. Pass rush grade of 81.1. That was 9th among all linebackers. Run defense grade of 75.6. That was 30th. Coverage grade of 62.6. That was 72nd. He had 74 solo tackles, but when he was targeted in coverage as an off-ball linebacker against the pass, he did not fare well. Gave up a passer rating of 116.1. That is his biggest issue. Didn't play a lot with Buffalo this year. The purpose of this signing, look, we're sitting here in the middle of January when the playoffs are underway. It's hard to find depth this late in the year. Morrow has familiarity with this team. And last year, Sean Desai was the DC before he got let go and then pretty much demoted. Bringing in Matt Patricia, Sean Desai was a Vic Fangio disciple. So different defensive play callers, but similar defensive terminologies and scheme. And the Eagles linebacker depth chart right now, it is extremely thin after the loss of Dean. You have Zack, Baun, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Oren Burks, Nicholas Morrow. I'd imagine that Oren Burks is going to get the start just because he's a year 7 player and Trotter Jr. is a rookie. Other Eagles roster moves here. Nakobe Dean officially placed on season-ending IR. Nicholas Morrow signed to the practice squad. I imagine he's going to be on the game day roster. Parris Campbell to the active roster. He's had so many roster moves involving his name this year. Wide receiver Elijah Cooks to the practice squad. And then wide receiver Joseph Ngata, he has been released. As I mentioned off the top of the show, and we have a lot more to get to here, we're talking Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Deion Sanders to the Cowboys, potentially our friends at Rhone making today's show possible. Get hooked up, get swagged up with our partners at Rhone today. And when you do that, you get to save and you get to look good. 20% off your order, Rhone.com/chatsports. I'll tell you what, starchy, stiff workwear, it is not optimal, my fellas, when you need to endure your busiest, most important days. With Rhone's commuter collection, your clothing looks professional, it performs like activewear, and feels like total comfort. Are you wanting to look good without having to think about it? Rhone's got you. A layerable, durable, refined wardrobe that is easy to style and exudes confidence effortlessly in a wide range of social and professional events. The hassle of frequent dry cleaning or washing, you don't have to worry about that any longer because Rhone has wrinkle release technology and odor-free hands-free technology. So the Rhone Commuter Collection can get you through any workday and straight into whatever comes next. Head to Rhone.com/chatsports. Use the promo code chatsports to save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you go to RHONE.com/chatsports and you use the code chatsports. It's time to body your most confident self. That's exactly what I'm doing on today's show by rocking the Rhone Commuter Polo. So after that injury to Nakobe Dean, is Vic Fangio in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs ready to play a rookie who hasn't really played a lot this year in year one in Jeremiah Trotter Jr.? Vic Fangio had some lofty things to say about the rookie draftee out of Clemson, who I thought it was a steal that the Eagles were able to get him. He said, we're not afraid to put Axeman Jr. out there. He said he has a bright future, and that future could be now. What a time for the rookie to have to step into some big shoes left by Dean, who had more than 100 tackles, 9 TFL, 6 quarterback hits, and was one of the top off-ball linebackers in the game. Fangio noting what I've talked about here with Trotter, what I mentioned in the pre-draft process, and when the Eagles selected him, this is a young player who has really good instincts, he is smart, and he enjoys the game. What Fangio likes about Oren Burks, he's a good athlete who can run, he can turn with those hips, and he's a good hitter. Fangio mentioning that opening kickoff when Oren Burks lit up Keyshawn Nixon and was able to dislodge that football for that momentum-changing fumble, which then a few plays later, Jalen Hurts was able to hit Jahan Dotson in the end zone for that opening drive touchdown. Trotter Jr. in 2024, he's only played 121 coverage snaps, but when he has played, he's looked good. In the preseason, you saw the feel, you saw the instincts, the ability to read and diagnose plays. So despite those 121 coverage snaps, according to Pro Football Focus, he still had an overall grade of 84.7, and he had a coverage grade of 90. I actually think that even though he's an inexperienced player, I'd rather see him on the field than Oren Burks. And last year in the Super Bowl, when Dre Greenlaw popped his Achilles for the San Francisco 49ers, Oren Burks stepped in. Prior to that, the Chiefs hadn't scored any points. Travis Kelce had no catches. He was held in check. Chiefs couldn't do anything. Dre Greenlaw goes out. Oren Burks is targeted 9 times, 9 catches he gave up, a near perfect passer rating. He's just not that good in coverage. Trotter Jr., on the other hand, is more comfortable in coverage as compared to Oren Burks, who's more of a special teams player. So I want to ask you this. Who should replace Nakobe Dean here in the playoffs? JT for Jeremiah Trotter, OB for Oren Burks? Let me know. How about this story? This is very interesting. And after the firing of Mike McCarthy and after Jerry Jones elected to not renew his contract, could Deion Sanders replace him as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys for 2025 and beyond? Jordan Schultz, NFL insider, tweeting this out on Monday night. The Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has spoken with Colorado head coach Deion Sanders about the team's head coaching vacancy, and the discussions are expected to continue regarding the possibility of him becoming the next head coach in Dallas. Coach Prime is considered a top candidate, though the Cowboys plan to interview other candidates as part of the process, per team sources. Deion Sanders put out a statement through Adam Schefter, and I love this statement because he did not deny his interest in the Cowboys job. He did not shut down the possibility of him replacing Mike McCarthy. He said this: "To hear from Jerry Jones is truly delightful, and it's intriguing. I love Jerry and believe in Jerry. After you hang up and process it and think about it, it's intriguing. But I love Boulder, Colorado, and everything there is about our team, the coaches, our student body, and the community." Where in that statement did Deion Sanders say, I want to stay with Colorado and I'm not going to the Dallas Cowboys? He didn't say it at all. So he left the door ajar for this to be a possibility. And I want to flip the page to this. According to reports, as we know, the Dallas Cowboys are interested in Deion Sanders to replace Mike McCarthy. Why would Jerry Jones do this? Cowboys fans this year became very disinterested. This is a team that hasn't made it to the NFC Championship game in nearly 3 decades. And because the Cowboys were bad this year and Cowboys fans didn't care, Jerry Jones is a businessman. He hates seeing empty seats, and this year there were a lot of them. Cowboys played on Christmas. I was in the Dallas area. I could have gone to the game for $30. Jerry Jones doesn't like that for the bottom line. The Cowboys, if they hired Deion Sanders, would be the talk of the league. The organization badly needs a spark, and Deion in Colorado, he's had an NFL-heavy staff. Pat Shurmur is his offensive coordinator. Warren Sapp is his defensive line coach. Mike Zimmer was his defensive coordinator. That's why Jerry Jones could hire Deion Sanders. Be sure to give me a follow on X and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both platforms. In addition to talking about the Eagles here, I talk about the Eagles there.